Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes here at bigwavetrading.com. Want to make it very clear, a lot of people, I went through the social media feeds extensively last night. A lot of people seemed hell-bent 100% sure that we've seen the bottom in the market following yesterday's reversal. Today's price action, if it doesn't convincingly tell you that that might not be the case, I'm not sure what you're seeing. You can look at the NASDAQ right here. You can see that we reversed right at the 50-day moving average. We initially took it out, reversed lower, above average volume. So that's a failure at the 50-day moving average. And on top of that, it's also a failure of the 5-day moving average. Moving on to the New York Stock Exchange, you can see the same thing with that 5-day moving average. And you can see it couldn't even get to its 50-day moving average before a pretty ugly reversal, closing lower than where it opened. The S&P 500, similar situation, as you can see at the 50-day moving average. The Russell 2000 continues to be weak, nowhere near its 50-day moving average or even its 5-day moving average. Overall, things do not look good on the indexes. That being said, I only had a few sell positions. Here were the high quality sell positions. There's only 3 of them. EXTR, if you're long, today's low of day needs to be your final stop. I am all out. CBMG ripped through my final stop today. My final stop was on the rest of the position, was this low right here. Of course, I had a stop here. That got knocked out, and then my final stop got knocked out intraday. If you're still long, it goes to right here. And then the other one was STE. STE knocked me out of my entire position all the way back here in October. When it had this big ugly bar, I moved all my stops to this day's low of day. It knocked me out in November, never triggering an end of day full sell signal. Confirmation closed below the 50-day moving average, closing below yesterday's open. I'm ignoring the wide intraday price action due to the stock and the overall market being volatile. The 86.17 close is also below the low of day of the earlier January low 86.26, confirming that it is in fact a full sell signal. So if you're long STE, you move it up to here. And then besides that, only NTP, which happened to be a new long, that's a 50% sell signal. You need to move half, and I might be moving all to this day's low. If I don't, half is going to go here, a quarter here, and then maybe a final quarter right here. But no matter what, half is going to go to below today's low of day. And then MCHI, I'm already all out of it, but it's an end of day 50% sell signal, even though it's not closing below the open or the low of day of the session before. It is its first close below the 50-day moving average since the sell-off started on above average volume, marking a 50% sell signal. But besides MCHI, which I don't have, besides NTP, which was a small loss, besides EXTR, CBMG, and STE, which I no longer have positions in, basically everything either moved higher on the day that I'm long and or pulled back orderly. That's impressive considering I'm still long I'm still tracking a little over 180 positions, and I'm still long a little over half of those. So it's very impressive that I have so many stocks trending higher. Like look at stocks I'm long like VKTX, TAT, which I was knocked all out of today at my profit target levels, CBAY, BURG, JASO, BSPM, CBIO. You can just see that there's still stocks moving up that show that there's really not a whole lot of bad things going on. Look at Seco move higher today. So as long as I got stocks acting like this, it's no reason to throw in the towel and hit the all panic button just because of the way the index is looking. But I will let you know, nice charts that remain after an initial market sell-off do not indicate a market that has bottomed. It's nice that we have diverging stocks, and if the stock market continues to sell off and stocks like VKTX continue to move higher, by the time the market rebounds, these stocks are going to explode. And the stocks that I am long that trigger ad signals are going to be your tell of probably the strongest stocks during the next uptrend. But I will tell you this, when markets are already deep in a downtrend, either time-wise or percentage-wise, and you start to see stocks like VKTX, like our ad signal and OTEL set up, then stock charts normally are telling you something's changing in the market and are leading the market. But when the market looks like this, on the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, Russell 2000, Dow Jones Transportation Average, The stocks that are moving higher are the exception, not the rule. And if the market continues to sell off, and especially if it cracks to new lows, you can be sure stocks like VKTX, JSO, BSPM, CBAY are going to get hit also. And for that being the case, look at APTI. APTI was one of my long positions that just looks perfectly normal. And then all of a sudden today, pulled back on heavy volume, lost the green bop. Now it's held below this low, which is where 50% of my current stop is. But now no matter what, I got to move some stop to here. So I'm going to have a quarter here, a quarter here, I think a quarter, maybe like a third then left here, a third here, and then a final third right here on that final half of the position. But no matter what, now a quarter of it goes right there following the session. But it looked fine and normal the day before. Where'd the green bop go? Where'd the low volume pullback go? Immediately gone. And that's the kind of market you're in. We're too early in this downtrend. Indexes like the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange tell more of a tale than VKTX, CBAY, and the 180 stocks that I am personally still tracking and or long that are still in uptrends defined as a series of either 2 or 3 higher highs and higher lows. I am never long any stock that puts in a series of 3 lower highs and 3 lower lows. Never. I mean, I think HDP was one. There's HDP. So you got one high here, one high here, one high here. 3 lower highs, 1 low, 2 lower lows, 3 lower lows, gone. Even though it could bounce and move higher again, I'm never long stocks that don't at least have a previous 100% gain, like soda could do 3 lower highs and 3 lower lows. And as long as it's above its 50 and 200-day moving average, it's not a full sell because the initial long signal was all the way back here in November and it's up 194%. So, you know, it's all relative to when you went long a stock, but the bottom line is, I don't stay long things not uptrending. I'm still tracking 180 stocks uptrending. A couple more days of heavy market selling below the recent lows and 200-day moving average, I'll be tracking 90 stocks, 80 stocks, and soon if the selling continues, 50, 20, maybe 10 stocks. At the 2016 lows, let's go all the way back here, I was only tracking 20 stocks. I was only long about 10. 15 maybe, I can't remember, I'd have to go back and check. But either way, you can see how quickly the numbers fall off once you start to get a real pullback. This was insane. I've been warning everybody for a long time, the entire month of January, that this was insane, and now you're starting to see what we're getting. But I want to even go one step further before I get to the one ad signal. I want to look at some of these ETFs. I want to show you how bad it looks out there. So let's go to this ETF scan. These are all the ETFs that are moving on above average volume. I'll just start like with some of these. Look at the semiconductor index, SMH. Not only is it rolling over on heavy volume, but look at all the red bop. FCG. You'll start to just notice a pattern between everything here. It's all selling off on extremely heavy volume, not light volume, and a lot of these things are seeing some red bop like XOP. And there's just a lot of ugly chart patterns out there. There's just a lot of patterns that look like this, where you have the rollover and the red bop. There's TQQ. Where's XLY? That's all the way even up here. But look at the reversal in XLY. Look at ITB. Look at nail. I mean, look at all that red. It had the red on the final uptrend higher whenever somebody was already distributing on the final leg higher here. They sold in November, they sold in December, the retail crowd bought their dips. Now they're completely liquidating, and I guess the retail crowd's going to try to maybe buy this dip again before the next leg down. I don't know, but it looks like there was serious liquidation going on. You can look at the home builders, and that confirms that. That's a lot of big, tall, red volume bars and some nasty price action. And you're telling me we're going to V-ramp to new highs? If we do, I'll tell you this right now, it will be even more unhealthy. It will lead to an even bigger and nastier crash. So to be honest with you, you better hope that this sell-off just really starts kicking up in full force, because if it doesn't and we do V-ramp higher, it's not going to be good. But just go into some more of these. TechL, COPX, copper. Boy, it looks bad. The daily gold miners are even rolling over, so there's no protection in the gold stocks. ERX, UCO, SOXL, just like the SMH I showed. Koru, look at Koru slicing right through the 200, just like YINN sliced right through its 50. So much for that one-day bounce there. Is anybody going to be surprised when the U.S. markets do the same? So keep all of that in mind as we move forward here, and as I now go over the one new long position OTEL, not new long position, it's an ad signal. OTEL was initial long position here. I didn't get filled on this thing, I don't think, until here. I think it was this day here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10th day. I still got filled. I was still going for 0.5% of my account capital. I got knocked out of it intraday yesterday. I got shaken out, but signal was good. And so as you saw in my chat room transcript, I bought it back. I bought it back at the morning at 14.05. I am now long at 14.05. Today is a pretty clear-cut ad signal. Bullish hammer candlestick over hammer candlestick. Reversal bar off the uptrending 50-day moving average on heavier volume following yesterday's heavier volume, with BOP holding max green levels, with the price being above the 5-day moving average and right near its 10 and 20-day moving average. So adding to my position, 0.5% of my capital. Right now I haven't checked my updated account balance. I'm still using the totals that I had at those 2016 lows. $2,000 goes into OTEL, limit order 1435, my one and only cut loss level. Right there, 1355. It hits 1350 tomorrow, I'll be all out of OTEL, and unless it reverses and looks exactly like it looks right here on this chart, I don't plan on rebuying it back. So it's either going to work or not. But that's it. That's the only ad signal. You want to know what else I flagged? It's DZSI. Lost green BOP today. Could have been a nice bounce potential swing trade, but lost max green BOP, so no way. PFI, by the way, DZSI came from my perfect speculator scan. PFIE also came from my perfect speculator scan. It did as much work in the upper end as it did the bottom end. 4 cents off the high, 4 cents off the low. I would need to see the stock close at least 1 cent higher to have been a new long position, especially with it extended from the 20-day moving average. And then the only other stock that even caught my eye was BNSO, and this is just not even an option right now, especially with that previous red BOP and it not being perfect speculator quality. Those are really the only stocks I'm interested in. OTEL is perfect speculator quality and was confirmed in my tertiary scan. All right, everyone, great luck out there. Please be careful. Ugly, nasty reversal today. Ugly price charts. We're going to need to at least test these lows and see how we act here. If we slice right through the lows and don't bounce immediately after breaking the lows in the middle of a free fall on the indexes, well, this thing could get very ugly, and I have no doubt in my mind the 200-day moving average will come into play. All right, everyone, I'll see you in the chat room on Thursday. Aloha.